We gotta stop crashing, brother.
Here we go. We're back up. Oh my god.
Wow. Holy cannoli. So I think we should definitely stop messing with with the scenes.
Yeah, this is all because of me. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. This is all because of me. I just wanted different angles. That's all. Easier different angles. But the software does not like it when I do things that I think I can do. Tune in to Moonshine Podcast.
I'm gonna take my clothes off.
Don't take your clothes off, please.
Definitely.
Please don't take your clothes off. You probably should have brought a t-shirt.
How'd you know I'm up here without a t-shirt?
Because you said that you only wore a sweatshirt today?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, tick-tock. Tick-tock. Here comes the clock within the knock on the
What TikTok
dock.
communities are you part of, Marcus?
I'm a part of everything. Everything. Marcus, take your what?
Just take your mic condom off.
Yeah, well, I would, but somebody...
Listen, I just want there to be no metal popping. That would be nice.
Metal topping?
I would... Popping.
Oh, popping. I heard topping, so...
Popping.
What are we talking about? Like a hot fudge sundae?
A popping.
We
It's a
talking
popping
about,
sound.
like-
It's a
like-
popping sound. You know, everybody in the comments, if you are watching right now, if you were to subscribe to the channel, these technical difficulties would not be a problem for you guys.
No, that's very much a lie.
TikTok all day. 2A TikTok. 2A talk?
It's very
Is
much
that two adult-
Oh,
It's probably just buffering.
two authorization codes. TikTok
Two asshole. Two artichokes. Talk. all
Two
day.
accommodations.
Two artichokes.
Okay, so...
I want artichoke.
So, oh. That was
Anyway.
nice. I'm so glad you did that.
You're welcome, chat, for that. That's
Anyways.
the vibe.
Anyways. Definitely... TikTok definitely has changed the world. Like, it's set a couple people to the point where they're, like, rich. Like, famous. Like,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
like... Super Bowl commercial famous, just because they can do a couple of dances in front of their phone for a minute out of their day. Like, I would love to do that. I started to do it. I started to do transition videos, and it would be like I would end one scene.
Right, but that was with
and
Musical.ly,
then-
right?
Well, no,
you did a competition with Khalif, right?
so I did a collaboration with Khalif on TikTok.
Receiving enough video to remain smooth.
So I did a collab with Khalif on TikTok to to just do like the best transitions or to see what we could get, and let me tell you, we killed it. Well,
How did you...
What happened?
Nothing. How did the competition end up?
So, well, it still wasn't really a competition. It was more just kind of like a collaboration.
I keep thinking that it's a competition.
So it was actually a complicated procedure. So it was so complicated. I had to save it to my drafts. Then I had to send it to him so that way he could save it to his drafts, make another video, and save it to his drafts.
Thanks for the shout out, boys.
And then send it back to me.
You're welcome.
Khalif.
Thank you, Khalif, for popping by. I
My
appreciate your presence.
Khalif.
Thank you, sir. I think it's because of the
Khalif,
Wi-Fi that I'm
your
connected to,
presence
but
is
I really
the
don't
greatest.
want to fuck up stream again.
Yeah, I would just leave it
I'm gonna
for
leave
now.
it. If video gets too bad to watch, then I'm sorry,
Drop a comment in chat. Let us know how it's doing so far.
bro. I'm always here. I'm glad you're always here.
Hey,
miss you,
Cleve,
Khalif.
quick question.
I miss you.
Did you give us a shout out on your snap?
Did you give us a shout out on your snap, Khalif? Khalif?
Oh, Khalif.
Khalif.
Khalif, are you the true homie, dog?
Oh my God!
Did
Where's the homeage?
Did you post it?
Where's the homeage?
Did you
No,
post
let's
it?
not come
Did you
on. We're not gonna do that to our fan. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Did you post
You
it?
came. It's okay. It's okay that you. I'll do it now. I was just about to.
Yeah,
making
that's what they all say.
Making excuses.
No, I definitely do appreciate it, my guy. If you don't feel like it and want to stick around for stream, not a problem.
Yes, 100%. I appreciate it, sir. Any views are good views. I appreciate it.
But then okay, so I think we should definitely touch on the topic of the people who take it out of hand.
TikTok's out of hand?
Yes. So it can go from there's really only one way, and it's the jokes.
Right.
It's the jokes. So like there can be ear rape ones, there can be like flashing lights ones, so they have to put like an epilepsy warning before, or they take it too far sometimes, and I feel like that's what's almost dangerous about TikTok.
I don't even know if that's like a good example for everybody to get their head around. Let's just look at the fact that there's always controversy.
There's always darkness to always cover up the light at the end of the tunnel.
There's darkness to everything. There's darkness to YouTube. There's darkness to TikTok.
Yeah.
There's darkness to every kind of platform. There's darkness in Hollywood. There's plenty of examples of darkness in Hollywood. But especially TikTok, you always see that there are like pretty consistent trends of people like, oh, this is a big controversy happening right now. Everything dies down. Then their fame goes down, so that they cause yet another controversy to happen.
What I don't understand is people who get canceled, right? You got canceled for a reason.
No, oh yeah, 100%.
Right, like you messed up, you really dug yourself this own grave. This is on you. You did this to yourself.
From darkness comes comedy. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like, how dark is too dark?
Well, I don't know if that's a fair question, because there's always going to be that argument that nothing is too dark, because
no, that's
well, to be fair, what about dark humor?
Yeah, but that's different.
What?
In a sense.
How is it different?
It's because in the context that it's put. That's the other.
I think the other parallel that you're kind of missing is the fact that, like, if people are causing this controversy to happen, that's actual damage to someone in the end. There's damage to someone in the end.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, I mean, the other side, it's I don't know.
I think some people they need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and try and see, like, oh, hey, this is not actually as funny as it was in my head.
It comes down to either dark or dry humor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think, that's another problem, like staleness. Content creators stay away from trying to be stale. They have to always have that, like, consistent,
But the better content creators are the ones that take the dry content and make it good content.
Oh yeah, well there's also really good creators out there as well that take that point out the same thing that we're pointing out right now. There are plenty of content creators that thrive off of that, just
Oh.
that alone, just
yeah.
calling people out. Like, I mean, we don't even have to talk about TikTok. Who's the one person that you know that has a news show that reports maybe not the best news all the time,
Yeah. Well,
but news about all platforms?
what is his Keemstar?
Keemstar.
Yeah.
He's not exactly the most amazing source, but I mean, they're also the trendsetters. Yes, CNN. Hold on, don't talk about CNN yet. Hold on, hold on, Chris.
they definitely are the trendsetters, because then other people bank off of it, and then they get their own creative twist into it, and sometimes it kicks off, sometimes it backfires, because
Right.
you know, you didn't do something right, or you thought it was going to be right, but then people didn't actually like it because you're taking away like a specific aspect of the video, which is again like you just kind of have to adapt to the right settings for your audience.
Right.
And I feel like if you don't know the right settings is where your dark humor can turn into dry humor very fast.
Yes, I can totally get behind that. And it's not a matter of like dark humor being bad. Because
Cinnamon challenge, yes,
Cinnamon
that's
challenge,
that's
yes.
a perfect trend.
That was
Perfect trend that was set. The cinnamon challenge.
yeah, that was fairly dangerous. It sent plenty of people to the hospital.
Did it really?
It sent plenty of people to the hospital because
wow.
what people didn't understand was that, well, hold on, let's explain the trend first. I'm sure everybody knows what it is, but let's at least explain what the trend is. So you take is it a teaspoon, a spoonful of cinnamon, right?
Spoonful of cinnamon.
A spoonful of cinnamon. Depending on the video that you watch, there's plenty of them on YouTube. Depending on the video that you watch, the spoon may be bigger or smaller depending on how outrageous
How ballsy they are with
right.
it.
And no matter what, no matter what the size, I'm sure if the less, it's a little bit better, but no matter what the case, the cinnamon sticks to your throat. It sticks to moisture.
Yeah,
And it would coat your throat, and people would think like, oh, well, let me drink water to, get rid of that. No, it's just going to stick to your throat still.
Yeah, it's
Cinnamon is highly flammable. I did not know. Actually, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely remember seeing something like that, which is I feel like certain people took that to the extent of the cinnamon challenge, and
Extreme, you mean?
it just has not been reached to public eyes as much as it would be like just the normal cinnamon challenge.
Right.
Almost guaranteed somebody's been like the flaming hot cinnamon challenge, and they literally lit the like, I don't know if it would like spark into a flame or if it would just literally like ember up and
pretty
crumble
sure
up,
there's
or...
excuse me. There's plenty of people out there that I've seen that just blow, like they just take a bunch of cinnamon and just kind of.
Oh, you mean like... Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Like you just throw it in
So it's it's definitely dangerous, and there definitely should have been more viewer discretion. I don't want to say that, just like...
Well, I don't know about viewer discretion. It's just
like,
don't do it.
Yeah, don't try this at home.
There are some trends
warnings.
that just shouldn't be trends. There are some things that you just shouldn't encourage at all.
Although,
I get, like, it is your right. I'm not saying like it's an impingement of your your personal right of like expressing yourself or doing anything like that. But like, if it's a matter of like you putting a video out there and some kid looking at it and watching it and wanting to do that now, and then they end up in the ER, you have to think about that.
That's also kind of what canceled out the cinnamon challenge. That's kind of what brought down the cinnamon challenge.
Right, because as a content creator, you have a responsibility. At least that's what the people on YouTube, like the big content creators, at least the respectful ones, they understand the fact that they have a community and they have a responsibility to that community.
They have to be careful with what they do as well, because even just the littlest things can make, any
Oh
kind of
yeah,
kid at my home. Let me do this.
of
I think I
course.
have enough room for
There,
this.
yes, of course, and like there are good examples of people. Like I can say that Markiplier, and Jack, they probably have two of the more friendly Jacksepticeye. Sorry, they probably have the more of the two friendly communities that are out there. Um, I mean, Jacksepticeye has been known to have one of the most friendly, communities, at least comments wise. And I'm sure there's plenty more examples out there. I can't think of one right now. But uh, Tide Pod challenge.
Yes,
Yes.
so I thought about that, but I wasn't sure if I was going to bring it up. But since somebody in chat brought it up, we might as well get on to the topic. The Tide Pod.
Sammy said apparently people don't have common sense.
You know what? And it's a real shame that it was targeted to a certain audience at a point of time. Because a lot of people jumped onto that really quick, did not take it as a joke, like thought people were actually doing it, tried looking up videos of it, tried doing this, tried doing that, and it just did not work out. If video just went down, there's some error between YouTube and our streaming software right now.
Yeah.
Drop in chat if you can still hear us, though, at least.
Yeah, it says that there's not enough video to be casting, but apparently we're still up. If it's still good, just drop something in chat. It's probably choppy. I'm not sure why this is happening. I'm trying to do my best, guys. I think it's the Wi-Fi. Well, I'm not sure if it's the Wi-Fi.
All right, we're back up.
We're back up?
Video's back up at least.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna get my phone off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's a number of things that are on the Wi-Fi right now.
What were we talking? The Tide Pod challenge.
Yes,
I feel
Tide
like
Pod
I feel like
challenge.
that was definitely more of a joke than anything serious. Like
Yes.
yes, people have actually posted them. Putting like actually putting it in their mouth and biting into it, and then of course like gagging and on the brim of throwing up after that.
Right.
Like it was definitely taken as a joke in my eyes, but a lot of people did not see it that way.
Reconnected successful.
All
right, we're back up.
If we're still up, go ahead and type something in chat.
We're definitely back up. OBS is fine. Streaming. It says we're streaming. We're still buffering though.
Tomorrow we should definitely. We'll talk about it off stream.
Yeah, we'll talk. We're sorry guys. We're still in the process of kind of working everything out. If stuff like this happens, I'm doing my best. Didn't go down just having a hard time buffering. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately that's the issue of being all the way up in the attic of my house. My Wi-Fi router is all the way down in the back room, and I have to use a Wi-Fi extender up here. But it's not just the extender straight to the Wi-Fi router. It's my extender is bounced off of another extender that's also downstairs directly to the router. So like the router then goes to another extender, right? So router, first extender in the first floor of the house. Then all the way upstairs is my extender. So like, oh hi Jada, J Baller, hey, shout out J Baller. But yeah, it's a work in progress. But I think we're kind of out of the woods a little bit. It's still buffering.
The other thing we can do is get you wired. Like we can get an Ethernet cable and just wire it through. We'll figure it out more off stream. But back to trends. We were talking about dangerous trends. We left off on the ice and salt trend after.
Well, was it an actual dangerous trend? Chat, if you know for sure if this ice and salt challenge was dangerous, drop it in the chat. I have seen plenty of videos of people getting hurt.
Yep.
But at the same time, I've heard plenty of people say that it wasn't.
I mean, it's more of a you can't knock it till you try it kind of situation. At
Yeah,
that
I
point.
guess so. But at the same time, like, it's water and ice.
Yeah, but it's not. It's that's what it is, but it's not that at the same time.
But it's ice and salt.
Well,
Water
at
and
first,
salt, though.
At first, you said water and ice, which clearly didn't make sense.
I know it didn't make sense, but I meant water and salt.
Yes, potentially, but then it's also cold. So
But what is that? But the ocean gets cold. Doesn't mean it burns people in the wintertime when the ocean gets cold.
Okay, all right. You know what?
That's the only thing I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? Every person that did the ice salt challenge right now is looking at you and being like, "Wow,
Gosh, this guy is so insensitive. Psst. Can't believe this guy talking about the ice salt challenge like that.
Hey, maybe next podcast we'll have to do a little challenge.
No, we're not going to do the ice salt challenge. The whole point of what we're talking about right now is dangerous challenges.
Yeah,
And why you're not supposed to do them.
But now you're bringing
And you're like,
on.
oh, let's do the challenge that we're not supposed to do.
No, the challenge that we're not supposed to do is the Tide Pod one, because that's the one that's actually like life-threatening.
Well, so is doing that.
Yeah, but how do you know? Because now you're the one that's questioning it if it's actually real. So
But I
then
don't think
how
it's-
can you confirm?
Listen,
that
this is not Among Us. This
Exactly.
is not Among Us. All right, you can't
Exactly.
interrogate me. This is.
Exactly.
Listen,
You're just
I
salty
genuinely.
because I'm right.
I'm
I'm
gonna look it
right.
up.
Go ahead. Look it up.
I genuinely do not think this challenge is real.
You saying it's not real, but then also not
When you
wanting
add
to do it.
salt to water, you introduce dissolved foreign particles into the water.
Well, what
The
did you
freezing
look
point
up?
of water becomes lower. I said is the ice salt challenge the ice? Oh fuck! Ice salt challenge.
That's all I'm saying. If you're saying it's not real, then why not give it a shot?
Salt and ice challenge. The salt and ice challenge is a internet challenge where participants pour salt on their bodies, usually on the arm, and ice is then placed on the salt. The salt and ice challenge can quickly cause second and third degree injuries similar to frostbite and being burnt with the metal. You know what? That makes sense because you've seen plenty of
now
it.
makes
Well,
sense.
now I'm. You know what?
Well, because
But it
you're
makes
like,
sense.
"This is
But it makes
water."
sense because I also have seen videos out there where people are like, "Oh, freeze water bottles instantly." You put ice, salt into a bowl, put the bottle of water in there, put it in the freezer, something along those lines.
So some videos you'd put the water bottle in the freezer for a little bit, and then it
You
would have
take
like
it out and then you slam
would-
it.
Well, you could do that. You could put the water bottle in sideways for like 3 to 5 hours, I think. And then when you took it out and you flipped it up, it just like it instantly turned into ice, all of
Yeah.
it, which I thought was awesome.
I mean, yeah, it is pretty awesome.
Going back to Among Us, though.
Why? Why do you speak of Among Us?
Well, I think that would also be something that would be kind of cool to bring to podcasts, even though that's definitely like
salt lowers temperature of water, same as touching dry ice. Yeah, it makes sense. Glaciers don't have salt in them. Oh shit, please don't do it. It hurts. Haha.
See?
I'm screaming.
See?
Like I said, it's like touching dry ice. Sus.
See?
Memphis said sus.
Yeah, he's talking about you, my man.
What do you mean?
Because
How
you're
am I
the one
sus?
you're the one saying, "Oh, it's not real. This is what it is." But then you're like, "No, let's not try it because it's gonna hurt." Like you're trying to fight me against it, but then you don't want to do it because it's like you still know it's gonna hurt.
No, that's not what. Did you listen to anything I said?
I listened to everything you said. So you said, "Are you sure it's real?" And I said,
No, I'm talking about the point that I made, that why I was saying we shouldn't do it.
well, obviously, but then if you're saying it's not real, then why not do it yourself just to prove yourself wrong?
I would do it off camera, not on a live stream to a bunch of people.
Well, there's been worse stuff on the internet, so
There's
just
been
saying.
this challenge on the internet
Exactly.
years ago.
It's still pretty common.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Then stop arguing me about it.
All right, listen. Marcus is shitting on you.
Exactly.
You are shitting on me, but So Among Us is cool though.
Yes. No. So let's let's steer away from TikTok for a moment and the dangerous trends that have come up from before TikTok and everything on through that.
Try boiling water at 26 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't think that would quite work unless you had a fire. And now it's blue. Isn't it? Doesn't the water freeze before the water? That I don't know.
Yeah. What? I think it's 32 degrees is
See, this is
freezing
why we
point.
need to have Chris on the podcast.
I'm pretty
are
sure
we
32
doing
degrees.
call-ins tonight?
We can.
I think we'll do a call in about
a couple call-ins.
We'll do a call in at 8:15
If-
just so we can finish up our conversation here.
All right.
Actually, let's put a goal on this.
Let's go to 8:20. If we get, I'm gonna say 7 viewers.
10. Come on.
All right,
10
10 viewers by 8:20. We will happily take a call in and have you guys in and talk about.
He said I do it for a living. Ah, okay.
He's an instigator. Among Us though, definitely check it out. Get some of your friends together. It is like a strategized game.
We're not sponsored by Among Us.
Definitely not sponsored by Among Us. So should
Mark
I keep
is
going?
just saying you should get it because he likes playing it.
It's fun. Well, because I was gonna explain the game, Doug.
Then explain it.
Okay. Well, then don't try and shit on me. Anyways, so Among Us, it's like you can have a game of 10 people, all at the same time, and you go around and they have like little missions for you to do. They call them tasks.
Your mom.
Your mom.
That's what Memphis said.
So there's one imposter, right? So it'll be one imposter Among Us, which is where the game Among Us, the title comes from.
Well, it's up to 3, right? Up to 3 of them.
It's one imposter up to 3 imposters depending on the host and what they want to do. Okay. And out of either those 1 to 3 people, you go around trying to kill people or sabotage the map to then stop the other players from finishing their tasks.
Right.
If the players finish their tasks before the imposters kill everybody, that was hot, then the game is over and the crewmates win.
Right.
Now, if the imposters kill everybody or they sabotage something and it doesn't get fixed fast enough, the imposters win. Definitely fun.
So the main purpose is to get if you look behind Marcus in the camera, to get a leg up on the situation.
my god.
I wish I had a soundboard. It'd be like,
Yeah, it was definitely not there.
Jimmy's legs, Mom. Jimmy's mom's legs. Jimmy's mom has nice legs. Jimmy has legs. Come on, we got 6 viewers. We got
6
15
viewers.
minutes to get 4 more viewers.
Get us in on 4
The
more
imposters are actually the real crewmates. The crew music. Wait, what?
Yeah,
The imposters are actually the real crewmates. The crew music to play on the actual. He got rid of the message.
So no, I wanna go on that. So I agree, because the imposters know everything about the ship. They know how to sabotage the lights. They know where to sabotage reactors and the engines, and which vents go to which. They know everything about the ship.
Are you saying that you're talking about a conspiracy theory?
Oh, it's a big conspiracy theory against Among Us.
Of course, it's pretty evident. I mean, that would make sense. That's literally makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's not that far off the beaten path, honestly.
Yeah. So pretty much, the only thing that doesn't make sense to the conspiracy theory is the crewmates in the game are fixing the ship. So
True.
on certain different maps, they're fixing the ship. They're emptying trash,
But then again, if you were an imposter, wouldn't you be doing those menial tasks?
That is also true. So potentially, right, if we're going off of that conspiracy theory, the imposters, right, the crewmates are going around helping fixing the ship, but then the imposters, which are the real crewmates, the ones that have the vents and can sabotage, are the ones that are trying to stop them, because then they could also potentially prevent or make more damage to the ship.
Now, if you're just tuning in, just to make sure everybody's in the same spot, so that means that the imposters are the real crewmates. Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. The imposters are the real crewmates, and the so-called crewmates are actually the imposters.
Yes. It's very unfortunate though for the crewmates, because they can't kill the imposters.
True. Yeah, like where's the space guns at? Where's the
Now that would be sick.
Yeah.
If they ended up updating the game, granted, I think it would ruin the game if they did it. But if they started out the game where they had it to the fact of you get one shot as crewmate to kill the imposter, but if you kill the wrong person, you kill yourself. Now, I think that could bring a bunch of differences and a lot more confusion.
That could just be a different game mode, though. They could implement it as that as well.
It could very well be, and I think actually let's go more into depth about that, because I think that's a really really good idea with that.
Okay.
So, right, the crewmates would get one shot to kill any one person that is
Terrible. Such a bad idea.
imposter. But that would mean that the limit of imposters would have to be 2.
We got 7. We got 10 minutes to get those viewers. Oh, we got 8.
The
Go ahead, keep going.
The limit of imposters would have to be 2, so that way if one of the imposters did end up getting killed, you would then be rewarded, right, by one of your tasks automatically being done, so that way you didn't have to go and do that task. But now if you tried to kill a crewmate, you would end up killing yourself, which would make it easier for the imposters, which would then make them need to make the maps bigger, so that way they can make their player count bigger,
right?
So that way the game wouldn't end so swiftly. And I think that's a good game mode to invest in.
Good night, buddy.
Good night, Tater.
Everybody say good night to Tater in the chat. Well, no, don't jump over the wires, please. Nene. Be careful, please.
Go ahead, Tater. I'll let you know in the morning if they say goodnight.
Yes. The camera's right here. You can wave goodnight.
Good night.
They can see you, buddy. It's a little delayed, so you won't be able to see yourself.
Yeah.
See? Right there. All right, dude. Good night, buddy. But yeah, it could go a lot of directions with that.
Yeah, so I think honestly, if they were gonna do that, they need
Oh,
to,
Jada said good night.
or they could implement all three maps
Mhm.
together, somehow managing to merge them together,
Right.
and then make it like a 30-player game
Mm.
where you could then have. I wanna max it to 6 imposters
For 30 people.
for 30 people, because then right you have the possibility of crewmates killing themselves. So then it's not even like, oh my god, the imposters are popping off. It could just be the fact of, well, did they kill themselves or did the imposter kill them?
Right, and at the same time, you could have really expansive maps too. But that's also like that would get fairly confusing for the mobile players.
Well, it would get fairly confusing for anybody because you could never tell if the imposter actually.
Right, but with
You know.
I could see that happening though.
So
I could definitely see that happening.
I feel like a good name for the game would have to be Run and Done.
Running down.
I only say that because it's at that point to the crewmates to try and get the tasks done. Granted, crewmates could not try and, kill the imposters, but another throw to it could be if they see a body, right, and they see somebody kill them, instead of reporting the body and trying to make them sus,
Right.
they could then kill the imposter.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think that should also have another delay to it. Like, if they see the imposter kill somebody,
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be a 10-second build-up on their kill button.
Yes. Just to remind everybody, we are doing a call in to the podcast.
Call in if we get 10 viewers.
10 viewers. 10 viewers. That's it. 10 viewers, and we're gonna get a call in. At least 10 viewers. So if we get more than that, we'll get more than one little drop in.
Oh my god. So somebody put one of their little brothers or their cousins onto the stream. They're watching the stream.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Nice.
That's so cool.
I mean, we're fairly
friendly.
friendly within reason.
So again, get us up to 10 viewers.
10 viewers.
We got a time on it. We got 7 more minutes. 10 viewers will get the first person to call either me or Nick ourselves. Tell your friends if you want to get in. Tell whoever you got to tell. Post it on social media, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Do what you got to do.
Yes, please.
Get us to 10 viewers, and
10
we will
viewers,
take
that's it.
in a caller for...
You got 7 minutes. That's it.
I want to say 10 to 15 minutes we'll take a caller, and then if we're still at 10, we might bump it up to 15 and take a second caller.
Hey. Let's get to one caller first. All right.
You know what? I'm just
All right.
letting them know the circumstances.
Slow your roll.
I'm
over
letting
there.
them know the
Slow
circumstances.
your roll over there. All right.
They gotta know the circumstances.
Slow your roll. All right.
But yeah, definitely type in chat, guys. Let me know what you guys think of that game mode, Run and Done, for Among Us. It's 30 people. They combined all 3 maps together, 6 imposters, and the crewmates can kill the imposters.
You know what? What if they just put teleporters between each location, and that's how they connected each part of the map?
Now that could be something. Now that would bring a whole different twist to the game mode.
Or you could get teleported in that game mode specifically. You would get teleported to a random one of the.
Now I think what a good twist to that is, the only way you can teleport is if somebody's trying to teleport over to where you're at. Now hear me out. Right? It's 2 crewmates, 1 imposter. You have to finish tasks on the 3rd map. The person on the 3rd map has to finish tasks on your map.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys ended up getting switched, then the only way for them to win would either having to be sticking together. They couldn't even do that. They would have to potentially just call an emergency meeting.
Or the matter of winning is based on, like, you have to get 2 out of 3 of the islands, at least 2 of the 3 of the islands to be completely full of their tasks. I like the teleport idea. Good.
Yeah, the teleport idea definitely is good. I think my idea kind of would take a different twist to it. But yeah, and instead of them being connected, they take a twist to teleport to the different maps, get it finished. Now that also leaves room for. I think the vents should then be
Connected.
so they could go from one map to the second map, and then be like, well, no.
That would be...
Now that would throw a whole nother ball game on.
And you would have, honestly, if you kept the same numbers too, 6 imposters to 30 players, you would have 2 imposters in each world.
You could have 2 imposters in each world, which is why I said 6. Granted, we could make it an even 10, but you're gonna have 4 in one world and then 3 in the other 2. I think 6 is a good number, even though it's really like kind of an odd fitted number to it.
Right.
You could have 2 imposters in each world, or, right, depending how the imposters play it, if all of the vents are connected, you could have potentially 4 imposters in one world and then 1 in the other 2, or all 6 imposters in one world, just going kill happy.
Right.
Then 2 or 3 of them teleport out while the rest of them are just trying to clean up the rest of the map. It's just a different sweep at it. You got 24 people to go in, do tasks on 3 different maps, and I think your idea, 2 out of 3 maps is good, but individually. So like the first map, you have like 5 tasks to do.
Well, no,
The
I think
second map.
obviously, like, you would have the same amount of tasks, like, per people, like, per person. Like, you just have that goal, and, like, if World 1 reaches their goal, either World 2 or World 3 has to reach their goal of tasks to win.
Well, what I'm saying is I think it should still be individually, like, me and you are playing. I'm a crewmate, you're an imposter. I have to do 5 tasks on World 1.
Mm-hmm.
I can finish them whenever. I have to do 5 tasks on World 2. And if I end up doing those 2, I won't have to do my World 3 tasks.
Oh, now I get what
See
you're
what I'm
saying. Yes.
So that way
yes.
the tasks
That
are
makes
still
sense.
different, and it's not more of a like, well, you guys on World 2 are goofing around doing this while we are trying to get our stuff done.
Right.
It's more of a, well, why weren't you doing your tasks?
Right. Now, just to clarify, you're saying that, like, just like you would have 5 tasks between each world, but you would only have to complete 2 sets of those 5.
Yes. Which I still think is a good idea, and it definitely would not take as long.
Mm-hmm.
As if we kept it like, hey, you have a set 5 for each thing, and you have to complete it to win the game. I think it would definitely help a lot and make it a lot easier. I like the teleport idea.
Ooh, we got 8 viewers. We need 2. We need 1 more viewer.
They're trying to squeeze
We
it in
need
the last minute.
1 more viewer.
They're trying to squeeze it in
1
the
more
last
viewer.
minute.
Come on. We can get it up there. 1 more viewer.
They're trying
For
to
this-
squeeze it in the last minute.
Last minute, we get 1 more viewer, and we can get this podcast rolling with an extra guest.
Exclusive deal, right? 823. If we get up to 11 viewers, right? If we don't hit 10 by 820.
Well, how about this? We'll extend it to 8. It's to 6:30.
6:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Yes. 8:30. 8:30. If we get up to 10 viewers,
Yes.
the time
Positively.
extension is starting now.
Starting now.
If we get up
at
to
8:30.
10 viewers by 8:30, we'll take a caller.
We'll take 1 caller.
We'll take a caller. I feel like people are nervous to call.
I don't know. I mean, it's not necessarily like we're
I-
not going to interrogate you.
I definitely want other people's opinions on the Among Us game. I definitely think that's a really good idea.
We want opinions on this Among Us game. Actually, I mean, while we're on the topic of at least gaming in general,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole development with now. Okay, all right. So hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Gaming in general, there are two big things that are about to come out within the next week or so.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm off tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow.
What does that mean?
Right. I mean, potentially we could extend stream. We could be on podcast for a long time tonight. I don't.
We're
work tomorrow.
okay. I work at 1 in the afternoon. All right, we're up to 10. We're up to 10. All right. So,
Somebody.
how should we do this? You know what? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna pick our
We should designate it to one person to call, and then the first person to call or that we get calling us, it will pick up. So, do you want somebody calling you, or do you want somebody?
You know
calling
what?
me?
I'm gonna drop my Instagram into the chat. All right, because I don't want to put any numbers out there.
Okay.
I don't want to put any kind of phone numbers or anything out there. I'm gonna drop my Instagram in the chat. All right, and it's the same thing as my YouTube name. It's right in chat, Moosepack Podcast. All right, DM me on my social, Moosepack Podcast.
Have the FaceTime set up so that way.
It stopped. Hold on. All right, we're back. Sorry, we're back.
Are we gonna have FaceTime set up so that way they are also seen on podcast, or are we just gonna have them voice call? And we'll go
I
from there?
think I'll just have them. I think we're just gonna do the voice call, but the video chat will probably be a little bit easier for us.
You gotta be checking your DMs, my guy.
Yes, I will be checking my DMs. But let's go on to a little bit of a tangent here. The PS5 and Xbox One Series X.
Yes.
That's a fairly prevalent.
fairly good topic to get set on.
Exactly, and let's just go straight into it. Target
Yes.
is one of the best examples to go off of when it comes to this whole situation. How dire the situation is when it comes to just trying to get your hands on one.
Oh my god.
I think the inventory, at least from what I heard at in the back from where I am near the electronic storage, there was between 10 and 15, I think. A number in there between 10 and 15 just in the store.
Yeah,
right?
up front, where I was working at, we had a cage set in the back, and we'd have people coming up and doing the online orders, and they'd come up and they'd set them off into a certain location, and we only had like max 10 up front, and we got sold out guaranteed by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I got a notification about the PS5 pre-orders on Target.com, and I went straight to it, and it was instantly I saw that I wasn't going to be able to get. I knew it, and it was late at night too.
Yeah, and that's the real killer. Like, no matter where you're gonna go, whether it's GameStop, Walmart, Amazon, Target, anywhere else you can really think of that'll sell it,
right?
Best Buy. You want to make sure you're there and refreshing your page by 11:59 at night.
Exactly, and these things are dropping the 13th.
So actually, the Xbox Series X is out now.
Okay, and the PS5 drops on the 13th.
The PS5 drops on the 12th.
So it's Thursday. Sorry, Thursday.
Yes.
I thought it was Friday for some reason. It's Thursday.
All right. So I do have a viewer.
If you can get
They-
somebody on FaceTime right now, you can.
They don't have Instagram.
That's fine. Who's the viewer?
It's Chris.
My man's Chris.
All right. Stream.
Chris,
We
if
are
you're looking
taking-
at me right now through this, thank you.
We are officially taking our first caller.
First caller on podcast right here.
It,
Just try to get him generally in the same vicinity as your mic. Try not to.
yeah. It definitely
not
cannot
to
be
get it
for
too
too
bad.
long because I did not prep my phone to take a caller for stream.
We'll say a good 5 minutes.
5 minutes is fine. But I'm just currently waiting to receive the FaceTime call.
The FaceTime call. Now, what should we? Our man's Chris. What should we?
What should I feel like
What
we
are
should
we going to be
stay-
asking him, Morty?
I feel like we should stay on the same topic as of how he feels about the PS5 and the Xbox situation.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris.
Yeah, alright. Don't be lying now.
So Chris, tell us a little bit of what you think about the Xbox Series X.
Khalif said,
And
"Nice feet, Marcus."
You know what, Cleve? Get out of here. So tell us a little bit of what you think about the situation and how everything's just getting kind of sold out so quickly, and what
you
you
can
think.
just.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the situation, Chris?
Personally, I'm not buying the new Xbox
Well,
And why is that?
Yeah.
because everything's going to the mobile now that iPhone has the beta for Xbox, and they're really the only thing that's different from the Xbox One X and the X series is the processor.
Fair enough.
Is that true? iPhone has the beta for the Xbox?
Yeah, it came out about 3 weeks ago. I've been playing it at work when I'm on lunch.
Oh well, there you go. Heard it from
There
him
you go.
first.
First look here. Now, I mean, now when it comes to mobile gaming, do you think that's actually going to take off? Because there's been plenty of mobile games out there that, haven't taken off that are supposed to be like the biggest games of the year. And, there was, what was it? I forget what company produced it, but it was Stadia. They were trying to come out with something that would like go across platforms like computer, anything that had Wi-Fi or something like that, something along those lines.
Stadia did come out. Stadia's been out for about a year and a half.
Right,
Yeah,
but it didn't
yeah.
take off to what people thought it was going to. Correct?
Well, that's
The
because
main thing is, so right before the Nintendo Switch came out, Xbox was actually the first one to think of the idea for the handheld console,
Right.
but they decided to cut it out of their upcoming releases like Xbox VR and hooking up to the Oculus.
Okay.
And then Nintendo took the idea far through it.
Okay. That makes sense. It's just when it comes to mobile things, like even Call of Duty, they released their game on Android and iOS a while back when they first released the new COD, and it was,
Yeah.
I mean, I played it, and it was pretty decent. I mean, for a mobile game, it was probably one of my favorite shooters that I've played.
it was okay, but it definitely had room for improvement.
It had some drawbacks, most
Yeah.
definitely, especially from jumping from console to mobile. I mean. But I mean, hey, how has the beta been?
Well, as Marcus knows, I was in Virginia with his sister for a week,
Okay.
and if I wasn't so drunk off of my, I actually did open it up and play it for a little bit in the middle of the woods, so that was
Okay.
kind of fun. But because
Now-
we're stuck in a tent for 2 days in a hurricane.
So,
Jesus.
like, what's some of the stuff that's on the beta?
So it's 100% it's the entire Xbox. You have it comes up the main Xbox home screen, and as long as you Bluetooth a controller to your phone, it's the same as the Xbox.
Now is
100%.
it have you seen the Windows version of the Xbox dashboard? Is it kind of similar to that?
Well, right now how the Xbox One is the home screen
Right.
is how they. It basically it's not exactly like a all new app. It's basically just a screen sharing streaming thing,
Right.
but you don't have to be in the house. You just have to have the Xbox plugged into an Ethernet cord and plugged into the wall. It doesn't even have to be on.
Right.
Now that's see, I don't know if I would enjoy that because I feel like my phone is too small. Like I like seeing bigger screens, and it's definitely not going to be something from my point of view, something that's more enjoyable for streamers who play like shooting games and stuff that really need to see the details in the maps and stuff.
Right.
I mean, I was playing No Man's Sky perfectly, with no issues.
I mean, I also do feel like that's a little different. I would say try playing like Fortnite on because
I think it's purely preference and purely
Yeah,
off of
that's
the
true.
base of the game that you're playing. I mean, you have the. Sorry, I was using a Kit Kat. You have the capability of having that that controller there, so you still have the accessibility that you would have like tactile wise.
well, yeah, but
It's just a matter of it's a matter of screen space for some people, and I totally get that. Like I have a much easier time playing on a larger screen versus like a computer screen or a phone screen, and I get the accessibility version, but I feel like the case to be made is that you can walk around town, or you can you can go on a long trip, and as long as you have Wi-Fi and a controller with you, you don't have to plug in your Xbox. You can just pull it up and bam, you have games right in front of you.
I think the other difference is
You don't even have to be on Wi-Fi. It goes over your cell phone plan.
yeah, and I think they're gonna look into something to enlarge in the screen. For sure it's gonna happen because they're gonna get some complaints about something like, oh well, I'd love to do this, but the screen's not big enough, I can
Right.
barely see anything, or I'd love to do that, but
Try to get your mic a little situated a little bit closer to you, like sit it
You
on
know,
your leg or something.
I'd love to do this, or I'd
Do you
love
want me
to
to-
do that.
Give me.
But it's yeah.
I
I feel like that's the difference between it is Apple's potentially going to make a lot more money doing what they are with Microsoft to do like a screen extension.
Right, and it's useful. I mean, there's many ways that you can go about it. I'm glad that you brought it up, though, Chris. I appreciate the another side of the equation of the gaming world. I know you can only see my nose right now. That's on purpose.
Yeah, your nose and your forehead looks
Yeah,
great.
nose in my forehead. But
All the
I mean-
moonshines make you look amazing.
thank you. I'm glad. My complexion is not the best, but I appreciate the
Your complexion is not-
I appreciate the compliment. Oh well, you have hands now. Here, I'm handing you back to your brother.
But yeah, I just think that's my 2 cents on that. I think since they have the beta, they're definitely going to be updating it. They're definitely going to have their own team onto something like that as well.
So the Android beta is actually over.
Dang it!
It came out in I want to say April for the Android, and they had it on test flight for Apple, but since Apple is ridiculous with their iTunes policies with the new update, it kind of got kicked off, and then Android did all of that it could do, so that's out of beta, and I don't expect Apple to be much longer in the beta. It's more them trying to figure out how they can make money off of it because Steve Jobs doesn't run the company anymore, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, and it's also going to be the fact of how much they're willing to pay Microsoft, how much they're going to have to pay Microsoft to actually get the.
How Apple wanted it to be set up is if you download the beta, that would give you access to a game library that you'd have to buy access portal to that game so Apple could make their 30% tax off of all of their apps and online purchases.
See, and that's where they get you with it, and that's
Yeah, but since Microsoft said, screw you people, we're just going to update our app already for Xbox Game Pass, and basically here it is. You can't tell us how to run our app anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like that's gonna be a big conflict if they eventually do start to get it up. Like, hey, like we've been giving you this money, we've been letting you guys do this, letting this happen, da 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 da. But we're taking matters into our own hands, and I feel like that might it might start something if they can't stay friendly with it.
Casey says Marcus told me I had to be here, so I had to be here to say hi. So hi, Nick. Thank you, Casey. Thank you for being here. You don't have to say you're here for Marcus.
I don't know you.
Chris also says hi, Casey.
But yeah, I definitely think that's gonna be a big issue. I personally, I'm still gonna get the new Xbox.
Well, you're gonna try to, because at this point,
Now, here's the next question, Marcus. Are you going to get the Series X or the Series S?
I'm getting the Series X
Why?
because it looks cool.
it looks like a
okay,
toaster.
For $100 less, you get the same exact thing, but you just have to be all digital, which is the way things are going anyway.
Well,
It's-
okay, hold on. Let's also show the other side of the coin, because PS4 is also kind of doing the same thing with the
PS4 's,
digital,
yeah, doing
the
the same exact
digital and the non-digital version.
I feel like it's kind of ridiculous to have a extra $100 for a Blu-ray player.
It is ridiculous, but at the same time, they expect, I guess, people to either already have a Blu-ray player, or it's a matter of, oh, well, they must have bought the PS4. What? When did the PS4 come out? 2016?
I mean, when was the last time you went out and bought a DVD?
When was the last time you saw a Blockbuster?
Actually,
Before you were born.
there still is a Blockbuster around.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen, yeah.
There is two of them.
Wow.
Alaska and Ontario.
Probably
Damn.
the last two in the world, honestly.
There was three of them. There was one in Sydney, Australia, but it burned down and they never.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm the wealth of useless knowledge. I'd be great on Jeopardy.
Hashtag bring back Blockbuster. Well, Blockbuster. But I mean, yeah,
Video.
it's crazy. I want the PS5 because I am a slave to the machine, and I like giving my money to companies that give me good stuff. I loved the PS4. I'm an avid PlayStation player. I don't have anything against Xbox. I just have a partial towards PS4 because that's what PlayStation, because that's what I grew up with. That's all. That's the only partial that I came at, because I also grew up with Xbox in my life, just not as much. I had to go to friends' houses to play with those things. But I mean, it was always nice to have the digital option to just like throw in a movie if the power, not if the power is out, but like if the Wi-Fi was out, you could plug in your PS3 or your PS4 into a TV and be like, bam. Marcus is ASMR chewing.
I'm sorry.
But I'm sorry. I'm kind of teasing him with snacks over here. I keep pulling stuff out.
I know. I'm getting hungry.
Used to us.
Okay, dude.
But
Alright.
yeah, I don't know. It's odd to see. Like it's not odd because I kind of saw the trend. Everything's kind of going digital anyway. but at the same time, I like having the discs a little bit because it gives me a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between reading an ebook and getting a book. If you're a reader, and you love reading, of course, like if you're going on a trip or like you're gonna go somewhere with like no Wi-Fi and you don't want to bring a bunch of books around, or you have a bunch of books that you're reading, get an ebook. I mean, they're kind of cool.
It's the little things.
It's
pretty
the
much.
feeling.
Yeah.
It's the touch and the smell of the pages and the
nostalgia
flipping
that it
and
brings.
yes.
For a person that can't read too well, I think I've read like 3 books in my life. And that's why I quit HVAC.
Right.
YouTube everything.
But yeah.
All right, I think this is going to have to wrap up the first ever official Moose Pack podcast call-in.
Interview. Oh my gosh. That was great. Chris, we will have you on again soon, my good man. Please fall victim to watching the stream though after you get off the call.
Well, I did like and subscribe.
Thank you. I
That
appreciate
is very
that.
much appreciated.
You're our one like so far, so I
Nice.
appreciate it.
I'm pretty sure that was me because I was the first one to like it.
Yay!
But yes, we do very much appreciate you bringing up. It was actually a really good topic to talk about, and I definitely think we should.
We should do this more often. It was glad
Oh,
to,
yeah.
I was glad to have a third voice in the conversation. So
Most
thank you,
definitely.
Chris.
For the person that said do it for the boiling water at 26 degrees Fahrenheit, I do that for a living. Look at high tonnage chillers.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
All right.
Next topic. Next time you come on, you're going to be talking about that, sir.
Thank you again, Chris, for calling in and keeping us company, giving us a new topic to talk about, and we are very excited to have you on next time.
Yes, please. Have a good night, sir.
See you later, Squishy.
Later.
Look at that.
That
Look
was
at that was good.
A very good topic. I swear to God, I
Oh,
did not know.
sorry, Casey put out a couple things. Let's do the first one about the games because it just chronologicalize them. She said with games, if it's all digital, you don't have to worry about broken or lost discs, but you're also a victim to system failures and data loss.
That
Corrupted
is
files.
So true. That is so true.
Corrupted files has been one of the banes of my existence when it comes to video editing and stuff, and games have also been a problem.
There is so many pros and cons to just online games and just disc games.
Yes.
It's almost unfair that they're separating them, but then
Right.
it makes sense at the same time.
But I mean, like look at PC. Like at this point, like what laptop that you buy, the laptop that I'm using to stream to everybody right now does not have a disk drive.
I mean, but that I feel like that's different.
Laptops are different, but
laptops are different.
you have, PCs in general. Like you have a PC downstairs. You go on Steam to buy all your games. You're not going to go to the store and buy a PC game. You know?
It's also taken a turn to they don't sell those anymore, so it has to be strictly online.
Right, exactly.
But since they still do sell disc games, I feel like it's gonna come to, oh hey, do you guys have this game? No, didn't you like read the fine print? It says online only.
Yeah,
which is gonna suck.
It makes sense. Let's go back to the other comment. She said, I love reading, so having physical books is like building my own little collection. I can show it off. Casey, let me tell you, I have tons of books all around my room. I have books shoved in the desk behind Marcus. I have shoe boxes full of books also to the left side where the leg is. I have books in boxes where my clothes should be in the dresser behind me. I have books everywhere. I love reading, and the fact of like being able to like put books everywhere is kind of like a vibe, honestly. I love the way of like a bookshelf looks. I love, the feel of the pages of paper, flipping and going, like stuff like that. I put mine all the way on. I'm kind of just vibing.
Yeah, I don't know. I like having it off.
It's a little bit better, yeah. But yes, books are crazy. But with cloud backup, don't even get me started about cloud backup. Well, you can that cloud backup is useful for save data, like your like Destiny or let's see what other games, like anything with save files, it'll go to the cloud. I like that goes straight to the cloud. The only thing I don't like about the cloud is that it's the cloud. That the company like Sony and Xbox both have been victim to hacking. I mean, anything that has software that has access to the internet
is prone to hacking.
Is prone to hacking either way. Like there's been plenty of instances where both companies have been hacked before. It's in the game.
For me, it's not the fact of like it's just the cloud. It's the fact of if you don't keep up with it, if you don't keep track, like keep doing this or doing that, or backing up your iCloud storage, or making sure you have enough cloud storage, or doing this, doing that. It's just another hassle instead of just taking the game out of the console itself and putting
Casey,
it back in the
that's a lot of
desk.
fucking books. Sorry, I'm listening to you, but at the same time, Casey is talking about her book collection. She said, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it said at the end the most expensive ones are $3 because her mom's a book publisher, works for a book publishing company, and they have a book sale every year, and the books were $3, so she bought like 100 of them.
Oh my god,
that's a lot of books. That is a lot of books.
I am definitely not a reader, so my $300
I'm not a reader
would
anymore.
never go into would never go all into books. It would go more into like video games or a new console or another controller, a new headset, something like that.
I mean, there's a difference between a digital person and a paper person. That's fine. It's all to each their own.
Yeah.
It's a matter of what your hobby is. I used to be a reader. I'm not a gamer. I don't claim to be. I will never claim to be a total gamer. You're a gamer.
Happily claim.
You are a gamer. I occasionally game.
I'm definitely a gamer. I definitely stream all the time. I play multiple different games. I do
I'm on a mission. A mission for what, Casey?
But yeah, going back to the iCloud, it's not the fact of like it's there. Like yes, it's there. Yes, it can be backed up. But then there's also the possibility of it not being backed up. There's a possibility of your games still being lost because it wasn't backed up, or because there was some sort of issue, or there was some sort of system issue, and it just like
download speeds for digital.
So I do believe the download speeds for digital are probably most likely going to be faster, because it doesn't have to read the disc, or the disc won't have to get scratched or cleaned off, or like Casey was saying, like a broken disc. But then it's like I also like that nostalgic feeling of like unwrapping the game case the first time.
Yeah, but
and then
what
like
if you're riddle me this? If you are trying to download a piece of software straight from the internet, like from an internet browser, straight off the internet, it's not on your computer in any way beforehand, right?
Okay.
What determines how fast that downloads?
The storage that it takes, pretty much everything about it.
Your computer processes it, but where does the information come from? The internet. It's pretty simple.
I mean,
I'm not trying to like pick an answer. That's the place where it comes from. So like if you have a shitty internet connection,
well, those aspects come into play too, but it's still the fact of like your internet could be fine, but then your computer storage could be dog shit.
Yeah.
So then it's like your game still runs dog shit because you have to like that's what's going on with my stream. When I stream, it's laggy because
no, you can't ever have enough books.
The processors and everything in my computer are not capable of running the games and the software that I'm trying to run at the same time.
Right, but let's try to isolate it to just the PS4 and the Xbox side, or the PS5 and the Xbox side, because like they have unprecedented processors, They're fastest processors yet, of course.
That's what
They're
they
always
both said too.
right, of course. They're always going to have their newest, best processors.
Yeah.
I have seen the differences between the loading speeds between like the PS4 and the PS5, or sorry, the PS4 Pro and the PS5.
I'm interested.
Instant load times.
I'm interested to see what it's like between different games. Because
Ooh.
I
Go ahead, finish your point.
I do remember seeing the video that you showed me where it was like, you know, it did game over, went to a black screen for like a second, and then came back up. But that could have just been that game.
Right.
I want to see the difference between the different games, the loading times.
Of course, it is going to vary from game to game, of
Yeah.
course. Especially if, like, you have a game like Destiny that's based off of, like, an online server.
It's literally
versus-
the loading time.
Versus, like, I don't know, like a campaign-driven story. Like a Fallout game.
Yeah.
That's, like, you just have the game there, besides Fallout 76, of course. So Fallout 76 was a little bit different.
That's a different breed.
But like a downloaded game, like that's probably going to take a shorter time to load a downloaded game than, something with online services.
Yeah. It's like, again, and it just brings it back to the software, how much storage it takes up, like
Yeah,
what
of
it
course.
What it needs to run good, stuff like that.
Right, and Casey also kind of put it out there with getting back to storage and stuff. She said you don't get the same kind of excitement waiting for a game to release and waiting at the store until they open, so you can go buy it. Clicking a bunch of buttons to buy a game doesn't feel the same. I get that.
Exactly.
The nostalgia plays a big part of like what you would want,
Oh, yeah.
but at the same time, it's ease of access.
Well, then again, the appreciation of that will plummet throughout the years because of COVID, because of the pandemic.
I don't even think because of COVID. I think because
we were heading in that direction anyways.
Well, we grew up. We grew up when all of these consoles were thriving when they first started. Like we grew up through. I mean, for me, it was the PlayStation to the PS2 to the PS3 to the PS4 to now the PS5.
Yeah.
They're releasing a digital and a non-digital edition. So,
yeah. But that doesn't stop you from buying digital copies.
But listen, this is what I'm going for. We were born in the age of where discs were normal, right? And of course, our parents before then, discs were normal. They were, went from DVDs to now games, where we are at, right?
Yeah.
Where can you get movies now? Netflix.
Yeah.
Anywhere on the internet.
Well, I mean,
But-
it's also Blu-ray. Blu-ray is definitely what's keeping CDs alive.
The quality.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about a buffering time. I totally get that. But what I'm trying to get at is like
Well, it
we're
depends.
pushing towards this digital age. We're in the digital age right now.
I don't like that concept. I don't like that idea though. Like, I think it's fine to have digital things. I think it's fine to test the limits, but we've been testing the limits. We've been pushing our limits. And it's getting to the point where they're, starting to transition. Like, hey,
Right.
we're going to sell a non-digital copy and then a digital copy. I guarantee their next one's going to be full digital.
Right.
And there's no problem in that.
No, of course not.
It's just the fact of I like going to the store, like I said, or like finally getting the plastic wrap off of the new game.
Yeah.
Or it's like unwrapping like an Amazon box.
Yes. It's like getting a package in the mail.
It's
In general.
It's just enjoying the little things.
Yes, it is the little things.
So,
Any comments from chat? Casey said something else. Two other things. Some systems or games delete your data after maybe a year of inactivity. But if you decide later on you want to play the game, all your stuff is gone. She also said with physical games, so long as you keep them in good shape, you can always pick right back up and not have to worry about it. Atari 2600. We'll get to the Atari, but let's address this first.
I definitely have not seen many games do that anymore. Maybe that's because I literally just play them.
Systems
all
have
the
been getting
time.
better with that. I haven't had that happen to me in a long time.
I think that happens, right? If you're inactive for a long time,
Right.
there's many more people coming in, many more people buying the game, playing the game a lot more than, you are.
Right.
They need space on the servers.
Right, of course.
So if they can have some sort of way to keep track of the inactivity accounts and the inactive accounts, there's no need to have them still made
I mean,
or have that data still saved, so that way it
Oh,
could
yeah.
also free up space for their servers.
yeah, of course. I mean, systems, like our systems tell us the last time that our friends were inactive, so I'm sure that
They have a
companies,
way to-
of course, like at least the ones that are like, I'm pretty sure this is like strictly like online services included, because the only way that they can really delete stuff server wise is if it's connected through the internet to them.
It's more online games than anything else, because I don't think there would be any need to go into a game like Cuphead and delete the data that you'd have on Cuphead. That's a game that you play either locally or yes, you can share play it, but it's still not online because you can't verse other people. Yes, it is local play and online play with one other person, but it's still not the fact of like, hey, you guys are taking up too much storage, we gotta get you out of here, or you guys are taking up too much room in the server, we're trying to get newer people in here.
Yeah.
You bought the game, that game comes with its own software and storage for it, but online servers, they don't have set in stone because they can't. If they did, they wouldn't be able to have so many people playing the game as they do.
Right.
So they, after a while, they have to, start kicking things into gear, and they'll start chopping off the inactive accounts, just so that way they can have that room and make their game run smoother.
Yeah. It happens from time to time, not as much anymore, but it does happen, and that is a concern. I'm glad that actually somebody brought it up, because most of the time you wouldn't think about it.
I definitely didn't think about it, but I can understand the reasoning behind it.
It just Casey just commented, it just ends with a lot of people being upset that they wasted a ton of money, a lot of time and money on a game that they just deleted all the data for, that they just deleted all the data for because you haven't been active for whatever reason. And that, that does suck, especially when you have a lot of time and, effort put into a game.
That's also, though, where the cloud comes in.
Yes, that is an advantage to the cloud. That's what I said. Like earlier when Chris mentioned it, it was save data is,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's before they had like a good cloud system. I'm not saying it's good right now. It still has work to be done.
Yeah.
But, before they had a decent, working cloud system, that's where the problems arise. Yeah.
But now, since there's the cloud, if anything, if you're in, like, save your data before you leave the game every time. Doesn't matter if you're going to be on the next day, if you're not going to be on the next day.
And,
save your data to the cloud.
Of course.
Because it's like, yes, you might say, oh, I'm going to be back tomorrow. Then you end up not coming back for months.
All right.
And it says due to inactivity, we have to restore your account. But then you can just restore your actual account with your data saved in the cloud.
Right. And there was a problem a while back when my dad first got his PS3. We moved houses when I was younger, and when we moved into the new house, he lost all of his save data to all of his games. Well, not all of them, but most of his games. He lost the save data to. And it was like he had tons of hours of, blood, sweat, and tears put into these games that he'd be playing, and all of a sudden all of his stuff is gone. You know, and that does suck. That was before they had a really good cloud storage system. In PS4, they solved that. I mean, I'm sure they did. You know, they had a little bit of a jump between 360 and the Xbox.
Oh, they had a humongous jump between each console. I want to say this console, right, the Series X coming out is the only one that was not a drastic change in my opinion.
Right.
We went from Xbox to Xbox 360. Those are two completely different consoles.
Right.
To Xbox One and Xbox 360. Again, two completely different consoles.
Now explain some of the big. I mean, at least something that you liked and that you disliked from the transition between 360 and the newer Xbox. Not the newest, but of course.
So the Xbox One, I'd like to say. So the Xbox 360, I liked it because it held more of my child memories on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going off of like software wise or like what's better about the console in general, Xbox One, it's easier to get to your friends. It's I want to say the Xbox 360, I enjoyed knowing when my friends were on and offline. Like, yes, it says that on the new Xbox, but it doesn't. It depends on the person. They can hide when they
can hide their
Yeah.
So you're saying that you like the interface better on the new console?
Yeah, so I honestly, everything about the Xbox One, I would say is definitely better than the Xbox 360. Like, looking back on it, it's hard to say what I'd like better because of all of the bugs and issues that they've just solved. Like,
Right.
everything that you could come to think of mine that was wrong with the Xbox 360, I would like to say that they went and they fixed with the Xbox One.
Yeah.
It was, going from system issues to struggling to figure out where your friends list was at to, they fixed it all. The category, it's all switched up in categories. It's all simple. It's almost spoon fed. That's how easy it is.
Right.
And it's just a lot nicer. It's a lot faster. If you're in the middle of a game, you can just, do click 1, 2 of your buttons, get in, get your friend in the party or do whatever you got to do to get your friends there. Now,
Right.
what I wish they would have worked on more are the party issues, and that's what I'm going to say I liked Xbox 360 more of.
The party issues. What do you mean by that?
So there's system issues, at least the last time I played Xbox One. Granted, this was months ago. The last time I played, there was system issues where the party overlay or party would not connect. It would just say connection error failed, and you could not get into a party for majority of the rest of the day.
Wow.
And it would be really annoying because you'd be in the middle of the game, your screen would like glitch, and then you'd be out of the party, or you'd be in the middle of the game, somebody would be talking and be, yeah, so let's go, and it would just cut off, and then you wouldn't hear the party, and then party connection would cut out. But looking back onto the Xbox 360, and from what I can remember, there was not those party issues because it was a simple, like, again, click 1, 2, you're in the party, that's it.
I have no idea how to post to my story.
But what do you mean?
Like on my Instagram story. Because beforehand there was just a plus I clicked on.
Yeah.
Khalif said that's fixed now.
Yeah, so again, like I said, that was months ago. I just wasn't sure if they did end up fixing it, but they did. But even then, I still feel like there's still small system issues that they have, and there's still small issues that need to be fixed that just simply aren't going to now, because now they're going to be focusing on their new consoles, pumping out new games for their new consoles, and just really focusing and doing what they can for that new console, so that way it can uplift, get them more, more money coming in and more following. So,
Right.
I figured you were taking a picture.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm kind of excited to see if I can pick this up. I'm gonna be checking at midnight tonight. Chris also texted me asking when we're going to have guests on. That unfortunately might not be for a while. I'm only saying that because COVID is being proved to have numbers being picked up again.
Yeah, COVID is back up on the rise.
So if we were to have guests, it wouldn't just be, hey, we can invite you over. We'd have other obstacles in our way of, our living situation and getting you up to our studio spot. It's just a
hassle.
complicated situation.
In the future. Sorry, I'm trying to socialize, get some more people on here because I'm trying to get another caller opportunity before we end stream. We may go until if we can get another couple callers on here. We may go until like 11 tonight. We're not gonna go too late. Usually to 10, but.
Yeah, usually to 10.
If we can get a couple callers on here, that would be awesome. But yeah.
Also, another thing we can do, it's gonna take a little bit and it's gonna be cost effective, but I think an easy way to stop the worries about everything and get somebody in here is if everybody gets tested.
I don't know about that either. Because there's gaps between testing. You can't okay, so I have a really good example of like an effective way of doing this for podcasts. The podcast that I watch pretty frequently, the Joe Rogan podcast, they have a system, like a test system that you get. I think you get the nose swab, but you also get another test that tells you within 15 minutes what your test result is.
Well, I'm not saying like you get tested and then you come here and then you get your results. Like you get tested, we wait for the results from everybody.
Yeah.
And then they come in.
Yes, of course, yeah. And if there would be social distancing procedures as well. Like it's not just going to be us and
of course.
we would set up a third camera. Me and Marcus are still social distance. We're in the same house, but we're in a confined space. The attic it's fairly closed off. There's a small window to my right and a window at the bottom of my steps.
Yeah.
So there's not much in terms of ventilation up here. And if it was an outdoor, setting for our podcast, that would be cool. I would be open to that. But that would also be fairly difficult because our setup is fairly elaborate.
I mean, so we could also look into that and try and get
that would that would be
it'd be something to look into.
We could do it. It is possible, but it's a little bit of money, so it would be.
We got some chat going off.
All right, let's see. All right, so Casey has a couple things. I think another pro to digital games that you just brought to mind is that with the new consoles, often you have to get new discs with the update compatible to the new console. With digital, they can upload the games and save the data and transfer it without needing to haul out new discs. But then, of course, they'll be losing out on money on those updated discs for new consoles unless they charge you for updating the digital game. It all depends on how they get about the concept.
Well, now they can't charge you for that. They can't charge.
They're not gonna. Well,
they could.
PS4. I mean PS5 to PS. From PS4 to PS5, I know there are some games that they won't be able to transfer, and they're the PlayStation Collections library. I think that's what the transfer library is called that they're using. It's only compatible to transfer like a few games at this point. So
it was the same thing with Xbox 360 to Xbox One. They were like, okay, well, you guys are saying this is a whole different software. Are we going to be able to still play all the disc games that we got from the 360 on the Xbox One?
Right.
Most of them were backwards compatible.
For the PS4, they completely said no. We had backwards compatible on the
Yeah.
PS3, all the way down to PS1. So we had PS3 games, PS2 games, and PlayStation games.
Now,
But when we went to PS4, there was nothing.
they guarantee they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
Now-
so of course they did that on purpose.
Xbox, I don't think is taking that route.
I don't think they're doing that either, but I know that PS5 has a solution to the problem in some capacity. And I'm pretty sure it is degenerationable if you get the disc one from PS5 to PS4.
Now it's a very, very easy fix. Very easy fix. You get an external hard drive.
Yes, that was
That's-
that was also
That's
that was something that they brought up as well. An external hard
That is
drive, yes. For the Xbox, they have one already that they released. It was like $200 and some though.
Well,
That's pretty much half of a console.
But yeah, well, that's a whole console in itself. But I have an external drive for my Xbox One, and it's got all my games on it. It's got everything, all my save data, everything.
Actually, you know what? Let me look something up real quick. But if I'm not mistaken, either Xbox or PlayStation isn't allowing external hard drives.
it do the digital console or the disc console. That could also be another reason why it's another extra $100 more, because it could also be external drive, and then the digital one is just
Okay, we're back up.
so that definitely hurts.
I think I saw there's one for PS5 that's almost $200. Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And Chris said Zoom. I have thought about doing a virtual type deal. It's just a matter of figuring out the software that we're using to be able to record to be able to let everybody else see you live. I'm sure I could probably figure it out, some way, but yeah.
We could also, instead of doing live streams, granted, yes, we should do live streams. We could also do YouTube videos with people.
Well, we are going to be releasing clips. It's probably going to be Moosepack clips. It'll just be
Moosepack highlights.
Right, Moosepack highlights. Either a playlist or just a section in general on the channel that'll just be highlights of the
podcast.
The podcast. And they'll probably be posted. There will be the video initially of the live after the podcast. Then the preceding day, hopefully, there should be at least one clip out, like an actual video. And then, from there I'll probably sprinkle in some little clips or something, over the weekend. But as of right now, I'm going to attempt to do clip videos, the Wednesdays and Fridays after live, sorry.
So there's also nothing saying that we can't do additional clips or we can't do, clips outside of the stream.
How often? Casey, what do you mean by how often will these be? Like, what are you talking about? How often what?
So we do podcasts every Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh yes. Are you talking about the videos that I'd be doing? Podcasts, sorry. Okay, so podcasts are consistently going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the Eastern Seaboard, the Eastern Coast.
Yeah.
Us, New Jersey.
Yes.
That's going to be, the podcast is at 7. p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. As of right now.
As of right now.
It's a consistent schedule that I and myself and Marcus most of the time will be able to keep.
Yes.
If I feel like there could be an extra day that maybe we could do like a short live or something else like that, maybe release like some different kinds of videos, that would also be cool. I would love to hear some comments, concerns, anything that you guys have in the comments of the videos and hear anything like that. But podcasts as of right now are on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7.
I also do want to state out, and I don't want anybody to get mixed up. The podcast is Nick. Nick is the host of Moose Pack Podcast. I am just a
very
guest.
yes. Well, Marcus is a fairly, if not, he's a consistent, if not completely consistent co-host.
Let's put it this way, right? If you've watched Ridiculousness, Nick is Rob Deerdeck, and I'm like what's the guy that does the videos on the side?
I can't remember. I didn't watch Ridiculous enough.
I'm like Chanel West Coast. Like I'm on the show a lot. You'll see me there, but I'm not one of the hosts.
Yeah, you're not always. You don't have to be there for the show to be the show.
Yeah. So it is Nick's. I do have my own content that I do post out. I do have my own schedule.
You're Stello. What do you mean Stello, Ethan?
Yeah, I do have my own content that I do post out, and I do my own live streams. They're mainly video games. I do enjoy doing these podcasts, but I do live stream video games.
Yes, and please for sure check out his channel. What do you know what your Twitch is?
Yes. Oh. Yeah.
Like where they can
Stilo. That's the name.
Let's stop streaming again.
Okay.
Stilo Brem, the dude from Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Stilo Brem.
Yeah, sorry about that, Ethan. I got that now. We're back up. Sorry, that was a big.
My Twitch is Bud the Butcher.
Bud the Butcher.
Yeah. And I am streaming Valorant a lot more. Hopefully Apex.
Dude, what the hell?
What does it keep cutting out?
Yeah, it keeps cutting in and out. It's fine now.
I am gonna start streaming Among Us, Valorant, Apex, Cuphead, a whole bunch of stuff like that. I'm hoping I'm gonna actually have some collabs in and get some teams going, so that way it's not just gonna be me. I'm gonna have setup games. It's gonna be a fun time. I am gonna do these at the same time, just different days.
Yes.
So I'm gonna stream. What did I say? Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
If you need more
Friday
information,
nights.
is there anywhere that they can get your information?
Yeah, it's on my socials. I post usually during the day before that or the day before stream. I'll post as a reminder for my streams.
Right. So if you have them on Instagram and or Snapchat, you'll be able to check out all the times and everything that he gets on.
And I'll be frequently updating that. The schedule you should guys be looking for: Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays are the times that I stream. And then I do also co-host on here a lot, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So definitely still tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays for that. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping myself busy with this stuff. I definitely want to grow and develop a following and see where I can go with this stuff. So, yeah, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be stating what I'm doing in that stream and most likely who I'm playing with. So definitely check out my socials. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna take a quick breather. We're not really gonna talk about anything in particular, but is there anything that you guys want to hear us? Talk about? Let's get some input from chat.
Yes,
We apparently have 9 viewers in right now. Any input is good input. Just don't be dirty. All right.
This is your time to tell us what you want to hear about.
Right. Is there anything right now or anything that you wanted to hear that we didn't go over? The Twilight Saga.
Next.
Pretty sure my
next
mom
podcast.
watched more of that than I did, so maybe we'll have her on.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we'll do a mom's edition.
On Mother's Day. We'll do a Mother's Day edition.
Yeah, Mother's Day edition. We'll do a Mother edition podcast.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Kidding, LOL. Of course you are. Of course. You wanted to hear about Edward. Don't be sly about it.
But no, definitely keep comments rolling. Let us know what you want to hear about. If you want, at this moment, we can also take another caller.
Yes, we can. Actually, you know what? Let's try to get up to 15 viewers, and we will take. We'll take the next caller. But we're just gonna do a running. We're gonna do a running count. So as long as we get up to 15, we'll take that. We'll take that next caller. It doesn't matter how long.
Yeah. So if you have multiple devices, just log on real quick. Yeah, we definitely do need more ideas for our topic list.
Moose Pack Podcast.
Moose
with,
Pack.
Marcus
Moose
Van Horn.
Pack.
We're nearing the last hour and a half.
Last hour
or so
and a half
of the
stream.
podcast, but please tune in. Look at my Instagram for the details in the channel. Moose Pack Podcast on YouTube. No uppercase or anything.
Yeah, if there's any kind of TV shows that you guys want to hear us talk about, or if there's any kind of movies, songs you want us to review,
well, not songs. Just if there are any topics that you want us to talk about, please shout it out. It would be definitely appreciated.
I mean, I'm just shooting shit and giving them more ideas to think about.
You're right.
Yes. Yeah, again, if we get up to 15 viewers, we will take another caller.
Bet getting my iPad.
Cause I said if you have multiple different devices, that was a joke. But if you want to do that, that's
if
fine.
you actually want to do that, I guess that's fine. I mean, how was your day today?
With the launch of the Xbox Series X at Target, it was a little stressful, a little different. Since they literally just launched, we had to have like maximum security with it. So we had to double back, check on the IDs. They had to have their barcode. It was only online order due to COVID. They only wanted to do online orders.
Which is smart. That's fine.
Definitely smart. Then we
Marcus should do a soundboard for you. I need a
soundboard.
Yeah, I need a soundboard. I just need a board, a button. I need a what's it called? A audio interface. But I also need a bigger computer for that.
We can also talk more after stream. I have a couple ideas.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ethan, don't know if y'all talked about this, but would you guys rather get a PS5 or the new Xbox? We kind of sort of went over it. We just didn't share our opinions.
Yeah,
Well, you said you would get the new Xbox.
Well, now that's not me just saying I'm only going to get just the Xbox. Like, I'll definitely look into getting the PS5 if what they're saying is true and
Right.
Their download times are faster, and that's the main reason why I steered away from PS4, I'd want to say.
Yeah.
Just because every new game you had or every update you had, it had to update the game, then copy the update, and then install the update.
Yeah.
That annoyed me. With Xbox, it updated it. and then
yeah,
you play.
but I think it was a matter of like looking at it and saying that it was like loading and then copying and then, but like with the Xbox, you just had a long fucking wait time.
I
mean, I can't say you had super long wait times on Xbox. It was pretty decent,
It
but at the
depended on
same
the
time,
game. Yeah.
it depended on the game. I'm partial to PlayStation. I'm gonna look at the PS5 first, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't be partial to getting the Xbox either. I look at the PS5 and I'm like, well, I already have the PS4. I'm used to the PlayStation. I am excited for the new PlayStation.
Oh, for sure.
I would much rather go for something that I'm already excited about than, changing over to a new system completely.
So what I'm excited for is Xbox dropped another exclusive. I believe it's exclusive. Which is the new Watch Dogs game.
Ooh, I'm pretty
Yes.
sure Watch Dogs
So
exclusive?
the first
Just watch
two,
what you say in the party chats now. Yeah, you're right, Ethan. You're right.
the first two games are on other consoles. I'm pretty sure it's between PS4 and Xbox. I can confirm that for at least Watch Dogs 2.
Yes.
The first Watch Dogs, I feel like, originated off of PlayStation. But I also I do know it was on Xbox One as well.
Okay.
But the new Watch Dogs, I think, is exclusive to Xbox.
I was holding my mic directly in front of my face.
Don't quote me on it. I'm gonna look it up right now. But I do believe the new Watch Dogs is exclusive to Xbox, and that's what I'm excited for. Granted, do I need to buy the new system to get the new Watch Dogs? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Am I gonna do it anyways? Absolutely.
Okay.
Um.
I'm not.
Ooh.
I like Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is really fun. Watch Dogs is like a different version of GTA to me. Watch Dogs is like a futuristic version of GTA.
Okay.
Kinda, sorta.
So now I'm confused. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
So I remember seeing a whole bunch of posts, Xbox saying that it's exclusive, or saying that it was only on Xbox. But now that I look it up, it's got a counter, right? It releases tomorrow, essentially. The 12th. Sorry, it releases Thursday with PlayStation, and it says available on PlayStation 5. But I know for a fact that I've gone into stores and I've seen it on shelves for Xbox One.
Yeah, but is it? You may have just like seen it differently.
I probably just read it wrong. So then don't quote me on
because
that.
they may just have said like, oh, play it now on the Xbox Series X.
That's like maybe exclusive now or exclusive only for whatever amount of time.
Yeah.
But yes, I didn't even have to look into it to get hyped about it. I loved Watch Dogs 2 so much.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I think they have a good set, of head on their shoulders with this game.
Oh, Naughty Dog as a production team are amazing.
I heard the first game was shit.
First game was pretty bad. First game was very disappointing. Second game was better.
Second game, prime. I loved it, played it, I completed it like within weeks.
It was really good.
It was one of my favorite games to play at the time. So much I bought it for the PS4, got back home from where I was, and bought it on the Xbox just to replay it and complete the campaign again.
That's some dedication right there.
The other reason why I bought it, I didn't just buy it again just to replay the campaign because that seems like a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my friends that I have an Xbox already, and they had the game on Xbox. Like I believe Dorian had the game.
Yeah.
I think Khalif might have had the game. I'm not sure. So I got it to play with them. Obviously, because why wouldn't you? It's like the same thing with GTA.
Yeah.
I would easily buy GTA again on the the PlayStation 5 if that's what everybody's transferring to. Or
Yeah.
I would buy GTA 5 on PC.
You would buy
if-
wherever you go.
pretty much.
Whatever your preference is.
I don't like. Yes, buy the game to play it.
Far Cry 6.
Oh, see now,
I
now,
loved Far Cry 4.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Why?
I haven't played any of the Far Cry games.
That's okay. That's okay because it's kind of like
So
it's kind of like saying like, oh, I love Skyrim, and somebody's like, oh, well, I haven't played Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's a great game.
it seems like a really, really, really good game. I just haven't gotten to the
It's
time to get it.
it's very realistic and trippy. Far Cry 4, I was definitely too young to play it. let me just start it off with that. But it's a survival game that implements, like a first person point of view, realistic elements. It has, you can go out on complete side missions and go kill and tan animals and get better pouches and equipment, and then go to the boss fight, and it's the same thing. You can go out and grind and do your own thing and stuff like that. But apparently Far Cry 6 is supposed to come back to Far Cry 4, or at least one of the characters.
I
The
love
one
when
of the
games do that.
characters may or may not be in the new game.
Oh, so it's pretty much a guarantee.
You guys excited for COD Cold War?
You know,
Six is in Cuba during the civil unrest. Oh yeah. Sorry. So let's answer Ethan first. Are you excited for COD Cold War?
honestly, I would love to say yes. I am, right, in a sense, but not as fully as I should be. I feel like COD.
Well, not as you should be. I don't think you're really a COD player.
Well, I'm a COD player, right? Don't get me wrong. I'll play COD. I'll enjoy COD. I'll play COD all day if I can.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, COD pushes out games too fast, too soon, underdeveloped.
Underdeveloped.
Depends on the game.
Depends on the game, but I completely 100% agree with the fact that they push out so many games, or at least it feels like it.
Call of Duty Blackout could have been so much better and had so much more mainstream time if they would have taken more time. I think they were just
Advanced
excited.
Warfare could have been so much better.
Exactly.
Does anybody remember the Advanced Warfare? Terrible,
There could have been a lot.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Now,
Not exactly. It doesn't have anything to do with Assassin's Creed.
What do you mean? I look. I don't know what the new game is.
Okay,
you
so
have to explain.
I'm not a big Assassin's Creed player. I haven't played since
Me either.
Assassin's Creed on the PS3. So it's been a hot minute.
Wow.
But as far as I know from at least the person that I talk to at work, his name is also Nick. Not me, I swear to God.
I talk to myself occasionally.
I do talk to myself occasionally at work because it gets boring. But
He's like,
I'm bored.
he said it has nothing to do with the actual Assassin's Creed mythos, the mainstream Assassin's Creed. That's a separate faction.
I feel like they're running out of ideas. They've pushed out so many.
Well, they went to
good-
Egypt. Now they're fucking Nordic, fucking Vikings.
I think they're trying to branch off.
Electronics Nick, he's awesome. Electronics Nick is awesome. He is
Yeah.
my boy.
I was gonna
But
s-
no, that was not.
Is it the other fulfillment, Nick?
It's the other fulfillment Nick. Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, Assassin's Creed. It from what I've played, it's made good games, but I think
Yes.
what they're trying to do is what are games that I can reference off of? BioShock and Crackdown. I've talked about the games a couple times, not on podcast, but those games, they made their first two games immaculate, amazing. I would rebuy it anytime.
So hold on, you're not directly comparing the games together like story wise. You're just like
No,
the
no,
game, the series.
The development of them. So
yes,
let me go
the
more
quality,
into depth about it.
development quality.
Yes. So I feel like Assassin's Creed is trying to avoid what BioShock and Crackdown both capped on, which was their third game. Their third game was agreed by both audiences between the two games that it was not as good as it could have been.
Right.
I
mean,
there's definitely different opinions on that. I think BioShock Infinite War,
it was just Infinite.
I think that was good. I loved the
Oh,
game.
I loved the game.
Played right through it,
But it wasn't. It was definitely a different game and vibe from the first two.
and
The first two, where they gave you the atmosphere of like a greasy, grimy, under the sea.
and I
Like
love that game so
it
much.
was, they gave you like this visceral feeling of like survival of the fucking fittest.
I love that game.
They gave
so much.
you, it was such an amazing like
really was.
experience. But when it came to the third one, they went to the opposite side, the quote unquote cleaner side of the world. They went to the air people instead of the sea people.
Yeah, they tried to, again, which brings it back to Assassin's Creed. They tried to take a turn on the game.
Well, to be fair, they were expanding their universe. Because in my opinion, I always wondered like what happened, like why are there people living under the ocean? Are there people living up in the air?
Well,
like what?
It was I think looking back to the story, it was something with air pollution.
Yeah.
It made it unsafe and unstable to live on
Dry land.
dry land. So this scientist invented a underwater city.
Yes.
Which then also invented a power that you had to inject into yourself, and your body reacted differently to it.
Well, those were invented after the fact.
Well, but that's also how the people became so disgusting and
Yes, they kept
up-tempered.
they kept injecting themselves with these drugs.
Well,
yeah.
It wasn't even the fact that they kept doing it; it was the fact of how their body took it.
Yeah.
It either killed you, mutated you, or you were strong enough to accept it, which was your character. You were strong enough to accept it and withhold the power.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your suit kind of helped with that. I'm not sure what the correlation is.
So I went back onto one of the games. I think it was the first one, and I
Mm-hmm.
started playing it. He literally goes straight from. So it starts out in a plane. They crash the plane. Just so happens to be next to a lighthouse.
Yeah.
They go into the lighthouse where, like, it was literally the HQ of this submarine to go down into the underwater city.
Mm-hmm.
And right off the rip, right, it's still no suit, no nothing. You're going, you fight off a couple of different people, and then you find the injection. No suit, no nothing. It's literally just how your body reacted.
Yeah,
to it.
I personally haven't played the first game, so that's completely that's all you. This is where I'm getting my information from.
Yeah. So from what I can recall, the first couple of powers at least are literally with you.
Yeah.
The suit may have something to do with it, but I can't confirm that it does.
Right. Okay. But like, besides, let's get back to
Assassin's Creed.
Right. So you were comparing
So-
the fact that the quality of games from 1, 2 to 3 of just BioShock, because
Yeah.
we don't have to make the comparison to the other
Yeah.
game. The 1, 2 to 3 to BioShock kind of went down in quality of the production, and you're saying that's it could be the same fact with Assassin's Creed. Now, Chris, he said that Black Flag. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is GOAT. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was so fucking good. I did play that one. I played a little bit of that one. I played a good bit of the story at a buddy's house of mine, but it was definitely a different vibe from like an OG
for
like
sure.
Assassin's Creed standpoint,
sure.
but it was such a good game.
And I think that's the difference between BioShock, Crackdown, and Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is taking the time and measures that they need to keep producing out the expectations of the Assassin's Creed games,
Right.
which is, again, why I'm saying the comparison to it, BioShock should have taken more time, or
Well, go ahead. Finish your point.
should have taken more time, or looked into an alternate way to run the game of their storyline, because
Okay.
ultimately the third game was going to happen anyways.
Yes, of
That's
course.
that's how the game was supposed to end. That was the ending for the game. That's what
Coup
they
de
planned.
grace.
But same thing going to Crackdown. First two games were the same map, same concept, and then they tried to switch it up and do something real fast. They kept pushing back the release date. They did a whole new map, and it's I don't like the new map. It might just be me, but it's not. The game's not for me.
Well, like I have to say, like, it's not just a developer's thing either. Like, to be fair, these game companies work very hard on these games.
Oh,
matter
no,
what.
yeah, for sure.
And kudos to them.
Oh, of course.
But like, the audience is what you have to
bank
go off of,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
So like, these first two games were very, very,
Oh my
very
God,
similar,
minty.
very similar, and they were
Minty.
very good because the first one hooked you. The second
yeah.
one was the sinker. For me, I came in the second one, but I loved it either way. It was a great game,
Oh, of course.
but it was the visceral feeling of that game that kept the audience coming
Yep.
back. And then they changed it to this like clean, pristine, air type area that was, obviously more financially stable and like this, that, and the other, but they showed the corruption and everything. It was a step in a direction that it just happened to not work out well with the audience.
Well, in my opinion, it happened, I want to say, a little too fast. So I believe the ending of the second game, the underwater city is destroyed. So you have to resurface, and then
you either go with your daughter or you don't go with your daughter at the end, or not your daughter, the whoever you're trying to save, Elizabeth. Not Elizabeth. Is it Elizabeth?
I think yes, I want to say so, and I think those are alternate endings.
Yeah, there's two endings because you can either
You can either go with her and save her, or you can
kill-
save. I think the. Well, do the little.
I thought it was
because I'm confused. I don't know if the little sisters count as Elizabeth or if.
no. Those are
they-
just little sisters. Those are different entities. That's just. So the only choice that you had to make with them
Is you could either save them or kill them.
or kill them, yeah, and it was just a difference of points and like
Well,
kind of like conscious.
that also brought a different aspect to the game as well. If you killed all of them, I think Big Daddies that
It will come to you, right?
they would come to you and instantly charge you.
Yeah,
like,
it would make the game harder for you.
yeah. So that definitely changed the alternative of the game. But then I think ultimately the third game you kind of really didn't have a choice. It was mainly air based. They had a higher up there. Granted, the what's the word? The aesthetics of the game was still beautiful from the air site.
Mm-hmm.
Still beautiful. Still, like, I wouldn't want to see it any other way. But I would wish they would have taken more time with the
Transition.
transition, yes.
Because they jumped from story to story.
They
Didn't finish what they started.
They potentially did. If I do remember.
Well, in the
correctly.
beginning, you're Booker DeWitt, right? That's the main character. You start off you get visited by Elizabeth, or someone. Pretty sure it's Elizabeth still. The name of the girl is Elizabeth.
I'm almost certain that.
Yes, the name of the girl was Elizabeth, and then you transitioned to a little bit later to a lighthouse, where you started in the first game.
Well, yeah, because like I said, the underwater city gets demolished, so
Mhm.
you kind of don't have anywhere else to go but back up to where the lighthouse again, and then I think they invite you to go.
Yeah, you go up. You go up instead of
you
going
go-
down.
Yeah, and it was more kind of a like, well, shit, what do we do now? Instead of like so you can either do this or that,
Mm-hmm.
which I think would have made a better twist for the game if they would have tried that. Like, but then I also feel like it would have been too far fetched if they would have tried to go and say, oh, yeah, like the whole time there was a second underwater city that you could have went to. Um, it just sucks that it was kind of like that quick of a transition. I would have wanted to see a little bit more in between.
Yeah, I get that. But all right. Well, I mean, we have about 13 minutes left. Casey commented.
Yes.
She said it becomes a type of supply and demand. Game developers will have a game that comes off and then want to capitalize on that, and keeps releasing games while they're popular. The more games they release, the less wow factor they have. So instead of taking so long, taking the long road to fully develop a new game with the unique qualities and its own standalone concepts, they want to pump out more and more games to try and keep up with demand, but in turn making them less valuable, so to speak. See, that was a really good way of putting it. Because like I get it. You know, if you release a game and it's all about hype, like, I mean, Crackdown. You know, like you had the first it was Crackdown. Which Crackdown was this one?
So the most recent one is Crackdown 3.
So yeah, you had Crackdown 1 and 2, which were fairly well developed games.
Amazing.
I remember
amazing games.
Crackdown 2 like it was yesterday, and it was very fun.
Oh,
Sometimes
yes.
a little broken, but it was very fun.
Definitely a little broken in a good way, though.
Yes, just like Skate 3.
Yes, dude.
Don't even.
We're
We're not gonna get started about
that's
that.
gonna have to be another podcast.
But I can totally get that. It was overhyped and underdeveloped. Well, not underdeveloped, just not what the audience wanted at the time.
and that's true.
We wanted another BioShock game. I wanted another BioShock game.
Everybody wanted another underwater game.
They wanted They wanted the conclusion. They wanted to finish everything. But I feel like, I mean, they gave us a conclusion.
It's just
But
not.
it's not the
one.
conclusion that we wanted.
Now it's the difference between developers, and I respect both of them. Between the ones that want to have a storyline, stick to it no matter what, because it's their story to tell. It's their story that they came up with,
Right.
that they have, and that they're gonna share. It's just the same as if like me and you were talking and you had a story. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, you should have done that. Why did you But then it goes to Call of Duty. I think what Casey said is very, 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 very accurate for it. They're losing hype on their newest game, and right after they release a new game, they're already working on the next one.
Right.
Just because they have to, with how they don't take so much time to make it a good, great game that they're only going to have to update occasionally, they make it a game that, people are used to now of having to update maybe like every week or every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's more and more bugs that are found. It's the
Right.
same as Fortnite. Why Fortnite isn't is still in beta, I believe, because they keep updating the game and changing it, and it can't be a solid game yet.
I mean, I'm honestly a good example of like a game that I mean, at least in my opinion, there's plenty of game series that like have gone like pretty consistently pretty good.
Yeah.
But one that I've seen and you know some people may be able to relate to is it's the
Take your time.
exactly. It's God of War. The God of War games.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't name one God of War game that I didn't enjoy.
I can't really name one that I've played, so
Yeah.
so I can't relate, but I do. I've heard about the games. I've seen reviews. I've seen videos on it. It's very well developed.
And the new one, I didn't play it, but the playthrough, the graphics, everything about it was amazing from what I was watching, and the story was fucking minty, dude.
I'd like to say another game that was like that did not disappoint and still to this day has not disappointed. Gears of War.
Gears of War, yes.
Yeah,
I only played a couple of the Gears of War games.
my favorite.
Only because I wasn't. It's an Xbox exclusive. You know.
And honestly, that's if we're gonna change the subject, I'm not, but I'm just saying if we were on the subject of which console had, better exclusives, it would most likely be PlayStation. I'll give you guys that because Uncharted was amazing. Spider-Man, obviously. You guys had multiple other games that was exclusive. But I'm like Gears of War is definitely a one-up on PlayStation.
I can't even say that our exclusives are the best because I like some of your guys' exclusives.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think BioShock is no. No, there's another game, Crackdown. That's what it was.
Crackdown is not cross-platform, which sucks, but I mean,
it's not as big a I feel like Uncharted and Spider-Man are big for PlayStation.
Probably the two most recognizable names on the PS4 that were like the jealous games,
Uncharted and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spider-Man to this day, I'm sure is
still a big talk for sure.
Especially because the Spider-Man Miles Morales just came out or is coming out with the PS4, the PS5.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's turning heads left and right, and people hate it.
Well,
not the game, but hate the fact that it's PS5 exclusive.
They also have that power since it's all Sony. They have that power, because...
and so does Xbox with their exclusives. They have that power to just be like, nah, no PS4, you're not gonna take our money.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of like a battle of the rivals. It's like
that's what they're always gonna have over each other.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is a really bad way to end this, but I'm gonna end it with a cliffhanger. That's probably why the PlayStation, like Sony and Windows, Microsoft, haven't made a console together.
Oh, see, we talked about this off podcast.
But not here.
I'm just gonna say.
Go ahead. Final point.
Tune in Thursday.
Tune in Thursday for that next discussion. Because that'll definitely be a juicy one.
Oh my god, dude, we'll be stuck on that for hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had 2.5 hours. That's almost 3 hours worth of streamage.
I'd want to say right now that's gonna be main topic. Next podcast. I feel like that'd be a good one considering.
Well, we'll see. We can't say that for sure because you got to tune in next time to make sure that that's the topic. All right. But in all. But in all seriousness, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please drop a like before you leave. If I would appreciate it, and if you liked what you saw, please make sure that you subscribe as well before you leave. I'm gonna be doing this. I said it earlier in stream. I'm probably gonna say it multiple times later. Nathan, have a good night. But if I said it earlier tonight, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be doing this podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We may have, as you saw tonight, just me and Marcus, maybe a couple guests, and other times we may have a solid, 3 or 4, 3 guests, me, Marcus, and somebody else. Who knows? You just got to tune in, all right? But on that note, please, for any kind of updates, please make sure that you're following me on my socials, either Instagram or Snapchat or both. That would also be awesome. So you're extra up to date. My Instagram is the same as my YouTube username, Moosepack Podcast. All right. Just look it right up in YouTube if you're looking it up on YouTube. If you're looking it up on Instagram, go right to Instagram and look it up. It should pop right up. Marcus's Twitch is pinned in the chat. So if you smash that like button, as Casey said. Every gamer ever, smash the fuck out of that like button.
But yeah, if you guys are looking for more content or just other content to look at other than just the podcast, definitely check out my Twitch. Give me a quick follow.
Yes, if you're into gaming content.
Yes, gaming content. I will. I gotta do some more adjustments, but I will be doing music streams as well. That will also be on Twitch. I don't have a set date on when I'm going to start that.
Yes, that is to be determined,
but,
with more information to come. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a good place to leave off, right?
I do believe that is a good place to leave off.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate it. Please make sure that you stay updated with everything that's going on in the life of Moosepack Podcast and Moosepack Podcast. So with that, I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Sleep well.
Sleep well. Stay safe. Don't get the Rona.
Please stay saucy as well.
Mask up. Mask up.
I'll give you a kiss. I give you a kiss. Consensual kiss. Okay. Good night, everyone. Goodbye.
Have a good night, everybody.